welcome to Season 3 of The Bows Knows, the podcast where we will talk to students, teachers, staff, administrators, and more to share their stories from the world of education. I'm your host, Mr. Bows, and I hope you enjoy this podcast. Hey, listeners of The Bows Knows, and welcome to Season 3. I cannot believe that it's been 2 seasons already. We have 83 episodes, over 4,000 downloads, which I am pleased with for a little podcast out of my classroom in Flora Home, Florida. I am so excited for what Season 3 will bring, as I'm going to focus on storytelling and sharing stories of all of the wonderful people, teachers, students, and beyond in the world of education. And I have the honor of being the 2025 Putnam County Teacher of the Year. And it's 2025 because it's always named after the school year in which you serve. The 24-25 school year. And I got to meet all of the other Florida District Teachers of the Year, and they have all agreed to be a part of the podcast and share their stories. So I'll be bringing you the insights and stories from some of the top educators in the state of Florida. But I want to stay true to my roots of sharing local stories from my school, QI Roberts, and from Putnam County, while also expanding to the entire state of Florida and even beyond. So for this season, Season 3, you're going to see that episodes may also air on Tuesdays in addition to their normal Thursdays. The Tuesday stories will be local stories, and those on Thursdays are going to be the podcasts that are designed for a broader appeal. So I hope if you just like listening to the Bows Knows podcast, I hope you enjoy the additional content. And as we kick off Season 3, I reworked a speech that I gave to provide you a little inspiration as, at least here in Florida, we head back to school with students on Monday. The limit does not exist. To many, this is simply a line from the movie Mean Girls. To some, this is a mathematical theory that you study. By the end of our time together, I hope that I can inspire you to make it an ethos. Your limit does not exist. I have 3 wisdoms to share with you that at various points in my life have gotten me through. The first piece of wisdom I wish to share with you has many different forms, but I will know it, as you can't change the cards you're dealt, just how you play the hand. We all have things outside of our control that we cannot change. A hurricane hits, the car breaks down, the love of our life breaks up with us, or we have internal struggles that no one can see. Everyone's cards are different, and everyone's hand is unique. Every moment of your life can be placed on the internet. We're so used to sharing every experience in life with the world, and we also live everyone else's experiences. But this distracts us from our own hand, the cards we were dealt, and what we need to do in order to find our success. We can spend all of our energy reacting to what happens in our life, or we can devote energies to solving the problems, finding the solutions, playing the hand. You have the opportunity to get up every day for the rest of your life and make the choice to let the hand define your limits, or you can show up every day knowing that your limit doesn't exist. The second wisdom I wish to share with you comes from my dad. Growing up, I would face decisions, and my dad would say to me, "What's the worst they could say? No." My dad shared this with me, not to get me to think about what could happen when things go wrong, but instead to think about what could happen when things go right. It is important to think about decisions and what will happen, but don't be afraid to make a decision. Most decisions we make have very low stakes. We can always try again. It may cost us a little more money to do it again the second time. It may take us a little more time, but we can do it again. Failure is feedback. We are programmed to think about what the worst case scenario is. And in this digital age, we are all worried about becoming that next epic fail that goes viral on the internet. And thus, we are paralyzed from making a decision, from taking action, from standing out from the crowd. Sometimes things will go wrong, but there will be days when you play a good hand, you ask the right questions of the right people, and you get everything you ever wanted. Your limit does not exist. The last piece of wisdom I wish to share with you is about brick walls. Over the course of your life, you're going to come across brick walls that prevent your progress. These brick walls can take on many forms. For some of you, a supervisor has been a brick wall. The graduate degree that you're struggling through may feel like a brick wall. Or some of you can think back to a teacher or a coach or a parent that felt like a brick wall. Surrounding yourself with people, be it teachers, friends, or coaches that tell you when you are screwing up and motivating you when things go well is the most important part of realizing your dreams. When people stop telling you that you are screwing up, that means they've given up on you. The brick walls, whether flesh and blood or brick and mortar, make you feel like they exist to stop you from achieving your dreams. But in fact, brick walls in our lives are not there to discourage us from our dreams. They are quite the opposite. They are there to show us how bad we want something, how far we are willing to go to achieve our dreams. What are we willing to set aside? What are we willing to work through? What are we willing to give up to get where we want to go? When John F. Kennedy launched us into the space race, he said, "We choose to go to the moon and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because the challenge is one we are willing to accept." If we follow the easy path, we will be letting others dictate our limits. And I know that everybody listening has faced brick walls, and we've navigated our way forward. Because your limit does not exist. Every single day from here on out, I want you to think about the cards you were dealt. Think about what is one thing every day that you can win at. When you're faced with a decision, don't think always about what could go wrong, but think about what could happen if everything works out right. And lastly, each time you hit a brick wall, remember it is there to show you how badly you want something. Listeners of the Bows Knows, I hope you enjoy Season 3. I hope you enjoyed this teaser. And as you go forth into the 24-25 school year and the rest of your day, I want you to remember that your limit does not exist. Listeners, if you like the podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast player of choice so you don't miss out on future episodes, and please share with your friends. Until next time, excellence in all endeavors.